In this part of the seminar, of the training sessions, which is going to be the last part actually, I'm going to show you how to complete the various tasks. Now, it's very important to understand that every time we make a phone call, it needs to be registered in Sage CRM. Whether you get no answer or whether you get somebody and you talk to them, all these things have to be recorded. Even if you get a wrong number, I want to know that this number was wrong. Okay, so in order to do that, you are going to be the procedure will be from the team CRM, where you will be playing with in most cases. The procedure will be to go to the company record, fill out all that needs to be filled out under the company, fill out all that needs to be filled out in the contact, and then you're going to also fill out all the things that need to be filled out under the people. So if they tell you that the person is no longer here or whatever it is, you're going to have to add a new person and make that person the default, like we discussed earlier. Same thing with the addresses and with the phone numbers and the emails. Now, what you'll also notice is that there is a communications tab, and in the communication tabs you will see that communication that got you to the company. So the procedure is this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to press from the communications tab under the company entity, and I'm assuming you're calling the proper person. You click status. Now, if that person has changed, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find that person in the list of companies. You will have to find whoever it is. In this case, it was Trevor Smith. So that's who we discussed the information with, and that's who we ended up talking to. So you need to complete the this task that we had scheduled for Trevor Smith. So if I notice here, I have the action, which is a phone. It was a follow-up call, and here is where we have the results. So here I could put in a bunch of different results depending on what happens. So if, let's say, the person says, talk to, and he says, look, I don't have the time to talk to you right now, but call me back a little later. So what you need to do is you need to make the result code talk to call back, and then because you want to create a follow-up task right after this, you can just click on the follow-up task. All right. Now, whenever you're completing a record, make sure that the territory is always NEC agent, and that the team or whatever campaign that we're working on, whether it's NEC or any other campaign, and then make sure that the team is also the same as the campaign. Now notice, because I've clicked on the result, I do not touch anything that has to do with scheduling. Do not touch. If you fill something out here, you never touch something on this side of the screen, except maybe for the team. All right, if it's not already set. So what I did is I checked, because I want to call this gentleman back. I checked the follow-up task, and that's all I have to do. So I set the outcome, and I set the follow-up task, and I press save. Now this will automatically bring me up a scheduled task. All right, because I had asked for a follow-up task, it automatically brings me to the follow-up task screen. Okay, in other words, schedule a new task. And now the action that we want to do is a phone out, and that's pretty well across the board. We never do anything else. The activity code will be either, because he said call me back, it will be a follow up. It's not a cold call anymore because I've actually spoken to the person and he actually told me to call back. So I want to follow up. Now, because I'm scheduling something, I never touch the result code. All right. The only thing I'm going to do here is maybe schedule a call for a different date. All right. So now is when I could touch the scheduling. All right. And I will put here by default, the person who's logged in will be here. Don't forget to fill out the territory. So in this case, it's NEC agent, and in this case, it's NEC. All right. And that's it. So what we've just done is we completed one call, and now we're scheduling the next call, and we save. At this point, we're done with this particular contact, and now we can go back to Team CRM and get our next call. Now, in this case, the next call happens to be the same because we're talking about a date that's far back. So let's pretend that this is not the same person that we were talking to, but this is a new person. So again, the procedure is I go to the company. Once I've gone to the company, I click on the company hyperlink here, and I fill out all these pieces of information. All right, whatever's here. All right, or whatever's needed for the particular campaign that you're working on. All right, I press save. I go to the addresses if they're different. I go to the email, the company phone and email, and I click on the contact. And if this person does not have a phone number, or there's something missing, I may want to fill it out. And at this point, I will just go change. And from here, I will put in, for example, his title. All right. And I might choose to put one of these in. So he's in operations, let's say, and then I save. So that we've known, we went over that earlier in the last segment. So I fill out this person's address if he's at a different address, and this person's phone number and email if I don't. Now remember, I'm in the person entity. Now I go back to the company entity by just clicking on this hyperlink and click on summary, and I'm back, and I should see now the information's here. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the communications and complete the communications. So if I want to complete the communications, don't forget that over here we have a filter, and we're looking at only the pending activities, not the activities that have been completed. If I want to see the completed activities, I can click on completed and press the filter, and it'll show me all the completed activities for this company. All right, it might be with Joe, it might be with Dennis, it might be with ZZNA, we don't know, but ZZ Diaz. So this is with everybody in the company. But what I'm looking for right now is only the pending, and by default it should be there. But if you see something, if you don't see what you're looking for here, just check in your filters over here. All right, now from here, all I want to do is check this, and I say phone out, that's right. Follow up, that's right. I give it a result code, and let's say I called him and he tells me I'm not interested. So okay, so I put in here, I might put in a note as to why. Okay, and then from there, all I need to do, I don't need to call him back because he told me he's not interested. So I don't need to schedule a follow-up task. And at this point, I do not touch anything over here because I've filled this in. I do not touch anything here. The only thing I'm going to make sure is that the territory is NEC, the team is NEC, or that, and or that is the campaign that we're working on. In this case, it's NEC, and then I just save. And now that call has now been taken off my call list. And if I go back to Team CRM, I will pop the next call. And that is pretty well how we are completing calls. So the next call would be here, and then I would do exactly the same thing. I'd go to the company and then fill out all the company information as I'm talking to the people, and then go to the end up at the communications, and then complete the call. And if it means scheduling a follow-up call at a later date, great, you do that. But and then you go to the next call, and that's about it.